Hi, YouTube. Welcome on in. Hey, I am beyond actually excited to jump back into episode number 2. I'm really curious. I keep saying this because I'm really curious where this is going to divulge into, and how far this is going to go. Right in terms of Maomao's incredible ability to go ahead and deduce information. But in comes in my follow up question. Right, I hate to put it this way. Uh, Individuals that are often seen as incredibly smart or smart for their period in time, people have a fallacy, which is sort of what we were talking about right before we went live. Um, People have a fallacy to believe that because you're good, you can't do bad things, and because you're bad, your good deeds don't necessarily like shine through, right? Same thing with smart people. People think, oh, just because a person's smart, they must know everything. And that is untrue. And I'm sort of wondering, is there going to be a point in time in this show where we're going to see that flourish up for Maomao more and more? Where, yes, she might be extremely knowledgeable. She might know anything and everything out there to be. But at the same time, some things are so obvious to an individual that it might just seem as secondhand nature and you push it to the back of your head. Same thing with the psychologist or therapist, right? Where we often see extreme cases and we jump into extreme scenarios, we start diagnosing that we oftentimes have to go back and revisit the basics. It might not be PTSD. You might not be going through, mood disorder. It might literally just be anxiety, right? At the end of the day, it's just being able to go ahead and follow through that pattern of thinking that starts from the very basic down to the more and more detailed. And that's sort of where my mind goes in with Mama. Mama is so detailed in everything that she does that I wonder if there's going to be a point in time where she has to go ahead and scale back to see the overall picture as to what's happening. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump right into it. What do you guys think? Opening analysis number 2. The first one we went over shades and masking and the different themes that are being presented, but now it's making me ask even further than this. Well, we do have kind of Maomao covering her face, right? She can't really see unless she turns to the side. Big obstacle. Yes, it is her agent of change, right? Yes, we can go into 1,001 variations on this, but just let me follow through with this. Covering nose, right? Freckles, which, as we know, covering mouth. See no evil, I guess smell no evil, speak no evil. Oh, thanks so much for the 5 gifted subs, Bulbous. I appreciate you. Bleak, Mandarin. Yeah, Bleak is incredible. Their Mandarin skills are flowers in the mirror, in the moon, water. Things are beautiful yet illusory. I was thinking of the opening related to this. Could be, absolutely. Thanks so much for the subs, Bulbous. I appreciate it, you goat. Um, Flowers in the mirror, in the moon, in the water. Things are beautiful yet illusory. Well, even past this comes in the main aspect is this season going to have a situation where, and not situation, but is a buildup going to be an aspect where something might be so obvious at first that it literally you're gonna have to use your other senses to understand what's happening, right? So you can't necessarily just rely on wisdom, right? You have to rely on taste, right? You have to rely on smell. You have to rely on like hearing, right? You might not be able to say much. You might not be able to go ahead and go out there and like blast it out to the world. You might have to keep it together and rely on others to come up with information as needed, right? The second post was the one showed at the flower at the party at the end of the maiden's waiting. Yeah, so it's a big aspect, and this is sort of what I'm asking is: does this come from a scenario where individuals have to go ahead and either understand that they can't see, say, hear, speak everything, or do they have to go ahead and rely on the other senses to understand what's really at play here, i.e., the illusory of the moon? The moon's not really fully present until the very end. Once everything comes together, you're able to see the full moon. Good evening, to pre-watch. Oh yeah, especially coming like right from work. Sure. Well, that and what are the things that are presented here? So great, though, Kurimito. All the different scenes, all the different areas, all the different art. how do you think you would feel, see, hear, understand, whatnot, be in all of these different areas? It would be very different, right? Uh, yeah. No moon. Right, Blake. Woo. Also, Ruji, thanks so much for the sub. Okay, chat. Keep it cool, damn. Oh God, I'm dying here. Okay, the flower, right? Yes, the frog as well, but the flowers, right? And the person literally getting poisoned. Of course, we have grandmama. So, what flower represents Maomao? Chat. What flower represents Maomao? Is it this yellow flower that comes around? And the butterflies as well? Oh, thanks so much for reaching this hype train level 2. I have a couple of questions. Yo, AJ, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Um, or switched at birth and Mama's the actual royal. Nah, that'd be pretty cool. A frog. A frog. Here comes my question for you. This is gonna sound fucking weird. Who's gonna die? Who's gonna die? No spoilers, I don't know. But the reason why I'm asking this is sometimes herbs and plants and whatnot, yes, they can be medicinal purposes, but at the same time, they can be extremely poisonous, right? I feel unsafe watching Ed not having read the novels. But why? The other earlier in this opening, there's a picture of a guy holding the flower and his hand is turning, being poisoned, essentially deteriorating in the same element. When we're looking at instances like this, we have different capabilities in here. Frogs, right? Can be loud and noisy, can be great food, can show 1,001 things. Some people use it as a symbol of wealth, other people use it for their poison, right? Don't even get me started on shrooms, right? Some shroomies, delicious to eat. Other shroomies, bad trip and you end up dead. Some flowers can be poisonous in by themselves. There's different capabilities of things out there that can have a significance. And it's making me wonder for this, right? And everything that's being presented. Yeah, everything that's being presented in here. I'm sort of wondering, is this something that has either been given or will be given to Maomao? Or in reverse, is this something that Maomao gives to others? And even past that, so that's my first train of thought, right? So for example, this frog or this little like cute ribbon or this moth looking thing or the shroom, like, are these things that Mama will give to others or others will give to her? Past that, is this a symbolism of also what may come? Immaterial, 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 flowers, ribbon, frog. I don't know. There's always death where Mama is. Right. Who's going to die? No one. Season 2 is a happy, joyful. Right. Yep. Welcome to a standard psyculturist analysis here. What I find interesting about this is she's wearing two different ear pieces. No, never mind. It's similar. It's just we can't see the other side of her ear completely. The animation's pretty. Right, 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 right. I do remember the hairpin. Now those are different. No, 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 not necessarily. So look. Green with little maybe jade, I guess, right? On her other ear, it's still the same jade piece, except that her hand might be covering the other red piece that comes all the way down, right? From where her hand is positioned, it might cover that all together. So with this, so many hands at play, right? And it seems that they're mixing stuff in the drinks and whatnot. This is where Mama has to be extremely careful, right? And also make sure that she's always prepared or that she's always like I don't know how else to put it, like has an alibi, right? And the reason why I say this is literally anyone and anything can come in and try and disrupt some things, even unknowingly, right? Like for example, let's say that you were stuck in your room, right? And all of a sudden you start hearing at a low level, like a really low level. You're like, you're listening to music and whatnot, and this is going on in the background. You might not know it yet, but what if this was just this is to clean my desktop? But what if this was poison, right? In that same regard, or even like even further, right? Just automatically try and hide what I'm doing to other means. So this is where we're as an individual, and especially being in the palace and being in everything, you got to be extremely careful towards number one, what is being served, how is it being served, what are people wearing, what are people looking at, what are people going all around, and security is of most importance. And I know people might be like, what are you talking about, Ed? Here we go, hold on, this one, boom. Yes, everything impacts everything. This is brought from Brenner's ecological theory, but you also have to be aware that everyone and everything can come through and impact you and impact others. This is just something to keep in mind. While we're going through all of this, this is what I'm actively thinking about. These hands that we see in here, right? These agents of change that are clearly white and ghostly and pouring in their liquids and whatnot. And yet on the table, we have food and drinks and stuff that might have different smells and textures coming out of it. Can a person be allergic, deadly allergic to fish? Yes. Can a person be a deadly allergic to a flower? Yes. Can a person drink something that might absolutely cause him pain? Yes. There's so many things that are being layered in here that it's making me wonder how aware as we as an audience have to be of this show in the background. I might just be overthinking it like I usually do. 99% of the time I do. But whenever I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is coming down to vegetables, to seafood, to drinks, to the smell of the fruits and the flowers and like, everything. Even the hands that are preparing the direct poison, which is funny because when someone looks at this, she's put in the commander's chair, right? What are your eyes first drawn to? Things that are moving. Your eyes are first drawn to these ghost hands, right? That are moving everything, but yet we fail to realize anything and everything else might be poisoned or might have some sort of tint to it. The flower, right? The smell of the flower or the smell of the fruit, food, or whatnot might cover up for whatever's in here. Same thing here. We're paying attention to the movement. Can't wait to watch the edited video as opposed to everything else that's being layered here. Flower. Yeah. Yep. Ah, what the heck? So misdirection seems to be the key of the season. Misdirection seems to be the key of this season, ladies and gentlemen. And that's sort of where I'm going to keep my eyes at is where is this show going to take us? What is the misdirection that is actively happening in here and why? They're wet because they went frog hunting. All right, there we go.
今回のキャラバン、業者の数も商品の種類も多いな。
Caravan.
異国の特使を迎える先行隊ゆえ、いつもより規模が大きく、期間も長いと聞いております。
面積の準備はどうだ？
接待担当の交換が進めています。
そうか。大事な外交の相手だ。引き続き頼む。
御意。
湿気も多くなってきたし、そろそろ衣替えをしようと思います。まずは衣装の整理から。
Something that I really like about, I guess, just outfits and stuff. Yeah, I guess you guys are gonna have to change outfits and whatnot. And this might be nerdy of me, but the little details that go into their outfits, right? And I don't know how many of you guys are with me here, but like the hair, right? Hair pieces, right? The little hair, like head jewelry that they have coming down, but also the pieces that go into the wardrobes that they're using, right? It's so detailed, and it feels like everything was very thoughtfully crafted, right? So, for example, what do you notice about them? This might be just me talking to myself, but I'll just yap all along, right? So, something that comes along to me specifically is number one, of course, you have that big divide altogether. That they're hot, yes, but aside from them being hot, and aside from the immediate aspect of the jewelry placement where jewelry is, I really, really like the way that they frame this, right? So the pink on the side of the arms, the like what is it? The this part of the dress that goes right in the midsection there with the little thing. Yeah. Night. Regality of the jewelry. Regality of the jewelry.
そろそろ衣替えをしよう
Who's
と
the
思い
lady
ま
in
す
waiting?
まずは
Who's the lady in waiting? Little tiara, right? Little things all
衣
around.
装の整理からインファ、アイラ、マオマオ
はいはい本ニャン様
グイエンはリンリン姫のお世話をお願い
But like even from behind, right? That's pretty cool. Like even Maomao's colors are a lot more. She has like that go away green color that you see at Disney parks, right? Where they don't want you to go ahead and pay attention to that color necessarily. But even like the color of her skirt is a lot more dull in a similar regard, right? As opposed to everyone else in here, right? She doesn't have that thing that goes around her waist, right? Or stomach or whatever that may be, as everybody else does. Or even like the little drapey aspects of things. Practical. Yeah. Yeah.
お願いね
わかりました
Commoner build.
流行遅れのデザインも結構あるのよ
So what was that about green at Disney? Disney employs a color called go away green, which is I believe they hired like a color psychologist or someone like that found that a specific shade of green sort of tells your brain that nothing is there or that nothing is really So when you look at something like that, it's like, oh yeah, nothing is really there. Like there's nothing to go out and continue. Your brain just accepts that as reality or as fact, rather than trying to go out and look further into it. Which of course Disney wants to keep the illusion that like, oh, everything's running smoothly. You don't get to see things under construction or people are coming in and going out of, right? So there's often like go away green doors or stuff like that hidden throughout the park for individuals to come in and go out. Yep.
ねこれはまだいけるかなあこっちは一時期すごく流行ったんだけど流行り物って時期が過ぎると途端に使えなくなるんだよね
Fads.
古いのはどうされるんですか職人が作り直して玉葉様の故郷裁縫で配るのよでは念のため防虫用の包丁を入れておきますね
お願い
そういえばもう少ししたら新しい次女が来るわよ
新しい次女
玉葉様のご解任で今以上に人手が必要になるから
Sure.
他にも理由はあるわよ
But that looked like it was 3 ladies in waiting.
50人以上も次女や下女を引き連れて受代した妃がいるんだから玉葉様だってね動乱妃のことか確かに帝の長妃である玉葉様の次女が5人しかいないのは世間体が悪い水晶宮のリファ様のところでさえ下女も含めて30人なのに
Damn.
ロキューはその倍よおかしくない
Damn.
インファそんなこと言ったらまた本ニャン様に怒られるわよ
だって
さてとだいぶ片付いたわね
こんなに減らしてよかったのですか
大丈夫新しいのを何着か注文しているし
それにもうすぐキャラバンが来るのキャラバン
前に来た時はマオマオはちょうどいなかったのよね
Have you guys ever like? Because I'm assuming a caravan is like a bunch of people that come through and they set up stands and they're like selling stuff and like big party like the circus or the fair when they come to your town. Like, how many of you guys go to stuff like that? Like the circus, the swap meets, the merchants, the so on and so forth. I do. I'll be honest. The Silk Road of a night market, never. I like to go to the circus. Yeah, I like to go to the fair. I like the anime cons count. Absolutely. I like to go to conventions as well. What day do you go? If it's like a 4 or 5 day convention, right? Do you go on the first day, the second, third, fourth, the last day? Like what day do you typically go to a convention? Unless it's TwitchCon, which I have to go every day, right? Of the convention. I'll be very honest with you guys. I go one day. And now this is something that my grandma sort of ingrained in me ever since I was a little kid. Because you got to remember, I grew up broke. I grew up a broke little kid, right, who had to like literally survive paycheck to paycheck. So my grandma literally ingrained it in me and my brothers and whatnot to only go on the last day. Yeah. Because you can bargain for shit. So whenever there was like the merchants that would come or the swap meet that would set up or, so on and so forth, it's like, hey, if you really want to have the best chance, you wait until the last day so you can bargain for shit. Half off. You ain't gonna be here tomorrow. I ain't gotta buy this shit. You gotta sell this stuff because you gotta dip. Ed's grandma, wisely. She was a wise lady. She was a very, very wise lady for her time. Yeah, last day merchant here too. Absolutely. It's like, we know you want to get rid of stuff, the stuff that's left over. I know I want to buy stuff, so let's meet somewhere in the middle, right? That you were selling stuff to a lot of people. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. But that's just that aspect of thing, right? Yeah, toy store employees on Black Friday. Ooh, Black Friday.
今回のはいつもより規模が大きいの。花巻
Damn.
はさほど珍しくないけど、娯楽の少ない高級ではこの時の買い物が楽しみなのだろう。マウマウも空き時間作るから見に行きなよ。玉葉様はこういう時いつもお小遣いを
Large condom kit? Yeah.
どうしたの？
Ugh.
手を動かしなさい。
私も本ニャンに怒られないように気をつけなくちゃね。
玉葉様、冗談はおやめください。
Get to work. Oh.
お呼びでしょうか、リファ様。
シン、これを皆に。
Damn.
キャラバンの買い出しですか。手の空いている次女に買いに行かせます。
ええ、お願いね。
Is anybody else finding this like a red flag, or is this just me? I get that they probably are checked, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's Apothecary Diaries that for me it's like random like caravan comes through. The red flag. I don't fucking know, bro. I kind of says who that, her sister or something, right? I'm nervous now. Every time I see someone pour, obvious red flag is obvious. Everything is a red flag in this series. But no, it just comes through with like random, like, whatever the show establishes something, it's going to be expanded upon. Even episodes, future down the line. Yeah, obvious plot is obvious, right? Yeah. Hey. What's up, mamacita? ¿Cómo está? My name's Ed. I like toxic women. If you could stare me down like that, we're all in the clip. Friend, obviously a totally normal, everyday face worn by people. Or was she the lady when it was one? Is that angry plotting face I see? Well, my thing is, mommy, when we're in a scenario like this, right? Too obvious next. When we're in a scenario like this, how much feelings do people actually harbor? Emotions, thoughts, and whatever information she got, she's clearly already forming some type of plan, something. Might it be good? Yeah. Might it be bad? Yeah, probably. One or the other. Whatever she's plotting or whatever she's planning.
キャラバンが滞在するのは5日間。 妃やその侍女たちがはしゃぐ中に下っ端が入り込んで買い物ができるわけがない。
Yeah, it's almost too sus.
私も新しい服とか欲しい。着てく場所ないけど。分かってるけど欲しいな。高級、つくづく特殊な空間だ。こんなに人がいるのに店はないし、医者もやぶ医者しかいないし、病気にでもかかったらすぐ広がってしまいそうだが、そうでもない。衛生管理はしっかりしているからだ。
But that's if you're thinking of some type of like waste level, like for example, if it was some type of like, I don't know, E. coli or bacteria in the aspect of like, oh, well, sanitation level's top notch. It's not really going to spread that far. But what about instances of like, say, TB, right? Tuberculosis, where you can't really see it, but it can still spread on a person-to-person level in a much further rate, right? Instead of just saying that, or even past that. Maybe not something that's like obvious in terms of food poisoning or, you know, so on and so forth, but you can take it into along the lines of like anything else. Literally any other sense else that you can go and pay attention to. Insects even, right? So this caravan that's coming through, actually really good question. Where do they come from? Chat, do you know? Where does this caravan come from? Place is really sanctioned though if it's caught early. The West. Where do they come from? Where do they go? From the West. Okay. Well, if they come from the West, is it like a different country? And if it's from a different country, are they coming in with different little buggies and bed bugs and lice and, you know, whatever else, right? If you don't know your supplier, you don't know the supply. And that's my main fear, right? Is there's so many things outside of sanitation aspects that can come through and affect everyone and everything, right? I don't know. I'm overthinking shit. I know I am. Apologies. I know I'm overthinking things, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, as someone that always takes precaution and whatnot, and got TB for a while, you know, and I was on the meds to get rid of TB because of doing groups for underprivileged kids, right? It doesn't really come to mind, oh yeah, I might get TB. Looking at this, it's like sanitation level had nothing to do with that environment, had to do with other preconceived notions, right? Or other notions.
汚物を捨てる地下水路は堀を通さず大河へとつながっている。裁縫の水道技術をやり手の女帝が利用したものだ。衛生面がちゃんとしていれば病気の発生は防げる。
Okay, fair.
それでも重病にかかった時は実家に帰されるが。
ねえ、マオマオ。最後の日なら少し時間がもらえそうなんだけど。
Oh. Why is she such a cutie, bro?
悪い気はしないな。
I love her. Yeah, exactly. Protect her at all cost. Protect her at all cost.
ちょっと奮発しすぎたかしら。
いいえ、もっと買ってもよかったのですよ。他のところはもっと買っているでしょうから。
確かに水晶宮の侍女たちは派手に買い物をするだろうし、リファ妃もなんだかんだ懐が深い。金剛宮ではリーシュ妃をおだてて侍女たちが自分の欲しいものを買わせたりするだろう。
Oh.
ザクロ宮だとあれだけ派手好きなローラン妃は言わずもがな。その点一部屋に入りきる玉葉妃は経済的だ。
明日もキャラバンの商人が来るから今日の分は片付けますよ。
I gotta say, I love the colors. I gotta say, I love the colors. Sorry, I was looking at the colors of the dresses and stuff, and I'm like, I actually like the different, like, yes, they're all wearing some shade of pink and red and whatnot, you know, but I really like just the colors that are being out there. What color is your favorite? I really like this one back here with the dark green, like the shades of green that are applied to it, right? But the dark green that comes through with the little design on the cuffs, it's pretty cool. Disney Mulan colors, the wizard eyes. After all that pomp, right? Green is your jam. Might just be the art style, but at least you look a little older. Not the red though. I was a fan of. I was a fan of the red once. You're a fan of the red. It might just be me, and I see it on two, but I don't see it on the others. It might be because it's levitated up, you know, to hold these things. But are these things high? Or are they low? Because, for example, look at the pink one. I know you guys can't see my cursor. Pink one top left, right, or pink one on the very left. The thing in the middle that the ladies in waiting are wearing, right? Is it just because it's levitated up? Does that really go right in the middle? Because it's like middle, high, low, middle. Like, see where I'm getting at? Like, it looks like it's different things. And I'm not sure if it's because it's elevated and the thing is meant to go ahead and showcase, like, you know, they're hanging their clothes and therefore it looks like really big and they're all in different, like, height stuff. Style, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it might just be style. Could be.
はて、
何かあった？
袖のついた着物と胸のすぐ下で帯を締めるスカートが多いな。このタイプ以外の服はなかったのですか？
こればっかりだったわよ。
流行りだからって言ってたけど。
Oh yeah. I'm over here just like, oh, I really fucking like this. There's something coming up and down, and you know the way that it's framed, and you guys are over. How many of you guys were like holding onto your keyboards, just like fucking waiting to go ahead and type something? I'm over here like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Yeah, I did that. Who defines your style though? They ain't got no Taylor Swift paparazzi.
ですか？
Oh no. Guilty? Oh no.
はて、
何かあった？
袖のついた着物と胸のすぐ下で帯を締めるスカートが多いな。
If it goes right under the chest, and some don't, and some do. Who's leaking information? Who is leaking information? There's a giant fucking rat in this palace. There is a giant rat in this palace. Who's leaking information? Someone's leaking? Yeah. No, her pockets got leaked. It's the kitten. In case you guys are wondering, what are you talking about? Merchants wouldn't be carrying this unless they had knowledge that something might be up in this regard. Think about it this way: if there's a particular style that that a particular city that you're visiting likes, you're going to carry that style, right? Pre-visited, the merchants pre-watched. Shake my head. So then, for me, this is saying that like they're either have an informant on the inside gathering information about certain individuals, right? Hence, leading to certain things. Hence, why. Yeah. Just look at the way that things are placed and where is the pressure being placed on the body. Is it being placed on the chest or is it being placed on the stomach, the waist? Where is it being placed and why do they have these differences available? Is this not a way to detect if she... It is bigger. And that's where my mind is instantly going. Who leaked it? Who leaked it? I mean, isn't Goyo sending it into back home? Who leaked it? If it came from her, cool. I guess. But then, doesn't that also risk certain... like, how well known is it? There's 101 other things. So the other concubines know. Right. Because this can... Anyway, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. I'm just going to shut up. We're going to watch it. Let's keep going.
このタイプ以外の服はなかったのですか？
こればっかり。
I might be overshooting here.
流行りだからって言ってたけど。
玉葉様の解任はまだ外に知られていない。普通なら客が好む服を持ち込むはずだ。玉葉
This
様
is what I'm saying.
指を腰で結ぶよう
This is what I'm saying.
しかしお腹が大きくなれば
Yeah, she's gonna have to
締め
switch
付けない
out.
服を選ぶだろう。それを踏まえた上であえてこういうデザインのものを持ち込んだとしたら考えすぎだと思いたいが、明日は帯を腰でしっかり締めるデザインのものがあるか聞いた方がいいと思います。
Boom! 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 Instantly, right? You can see that they captured it quick. They're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no.
そうね。もっと違うものを買っておかないと。
Maomao's your daughter, right, Ed? Oh,
商
yeah.
人に声をかけておいて。
はい。
玉葉様と本ニャン様には伝わったみたいだ。最終日ともなると売れ残りばかりだな。
You raised Maomao well.
玉葉様からお小遣いをもらったけど、これください。
Oh. Wait, those are the things from the opening, yeah? Hold on. Is that it? Is that the one of the hands that opens up and has a... Oh, that's adorable. Oh, it's so cute. Ah!
妹とやらがいたらこんな生き物なのだろうか。
ママは行きたいところないの？付き合うよ。
じゃあちょっと覗きたいところがあるんだけど、さすがに薬の類はないが茶葉や香辛料はある。それに最終日に来た理由がもう一つある。
Why?
値引きだ。
I see it runs in our heritage. Oh yeah, prelim. It's true though. It's true. If you ever in the lower income, right? Okay, now that'll pre-watch, right? If you're ever in the lower income brackets, you gotta know how to go ahead and get them discounts. They're the same person. She grew up with Granny. Your daughter, for real, for real. I think she might be my great grandmother, right? At this point, because no, being real with you, like that is something that my family went through and still goes through. You kidding me? Hold on. I wish I could show you. I would show you some messages, but it's mostly my mom and dad roasting me. My mom still hits me up and she's like, hey, Albertson is going to have a deal. Make sure you clip this coupon, this coupon, this coupon, this coupon. You go to Albertsons or Walmart, you get whatever, and this is how you're going to be able to go to get like this much out of it. And I'm like, I'm not in the capacity where I'm like fearful of like, oh, well, I need to make this last for the next 2 weeks or 1 week, because I have a good paying job. But it's like that mentality is still there where it's like discounts, right? Like, yeah.
高級という特殊な場所で適正価格で品物を売るとは思えない。簡単にぼったくれると思うなよ。
Aww.
Jasmine 茶か。
Oh, that's how that looks.
これください。はて。
Hey, yo.
猫ちゃん元気？
ああ、あの時の。元気にしてる。今医局にいる。
そっか、よかった。あれ？シスイもお休みもらったの？うん、シャオランも来てたんだ。何買ったの？ 私は見物だけ。
Oh.
マオマオに紙紐買ってもらったんだ。かわいい。
二人は知り合いか。シャオランと同じ小服の衣を着ているということはいつもの洗濯場を使っている女官なのだろう。ここ邪魔になるから場所を移そう。これ3つください。
ジョーちゃんに友達がいるなんて知らなかったよ。
ヤブ医者が大変
Dr.
失礼なことを言っている本当のことなので仕方ないだろう。
なんて名前？
盗賊改め。
Admonisher of Thieves.
マオマオの方がよっぽど変だ。
お茶でも入れようかね。
お茶は持ってきました。
じゃあ茶菓子だね。
Is that really how it's like? Hold on. Is that really how it's like? I've never seen like tea from the actual like you know, the leaf or the whatever, right? Like I'm completely, you know, I'm smart in some areas and I have some wisdom in some areas, but when it comes to like areas like this, I've never actually seen full on tea like this. Yeah, you never tried flower tea? No. Blake, we gotta try flower tea. We gotta try flower tea. I've never tried flower tea.
いい香り。
ジャスミンの工芸茶。温めた器に
Chamomile？
入れて
うん
梅のお湯をゆっくり注ぐとこうしてつぼみが開く。なかなか入れる機会はないだろうけど。
ジョーちゃんたち、今回だけ特別だよ。
決定だ。ありがとうございます。それにしても毎回こうなの？すごいお祭り騒ぎ。
止水もキャラバンは初めてか。ローラン妃の時代と共に入ってきたとすれば来て半年ほどなのだろう。
今回はいつもより長い
The
な。
quack doctor is really
それ
nice.
はね、近々異国から特使が来るかららしいよ。
へ
Mm.
え、偉い人が来るんですね。
それ言っちゃっていいんですかね。
そういえばさ、最近北側で変な匂いがするんだけど、知らない？はっ。
北側？
A weird smell?
変な匂いね。あっちは荒れているからね。水路でも詰まったかな。
汚物を流す地下水路が詰まれば地上に匂いが出てくるかもしれない。
シスイは北側に行く仕事があるの？あっちは草むらが多いのだよね。
Oh, oh my goodness. Ah, her and Maomao are about to be best fucking friends. But also, wait a minute, what is she doing all the way out there? And why are her designs so good? And she draws like best friendo.
上手だね。
ここにはたくさん虫がいるからいっぱいかけていいよね。
虫もまた薬の材料になる。カマキリの卵巣は精力剤になり、ミミズは解熱効果がある。
南の果樹園とかはしっかり手入れされているからあまりいないけど、北側の廃墟とかいい感じ。でっかい雲がたくさんいるよ。
Oh.
集めるのが大変でまだ試したことがないが、雲の糸には止血効果があるという。
行ってみる？
行ってみる。
見てこれなんて綺麗な色で分布してて可愛いんだ。
Oh. Tuberculosis? I'm kidding, by the way. Hey, plague? Scarlet fever? I know, we're over here just gonna start throwing a bunch of random terms out there. COVID? Oh, no. This has a little flower thing. What? This is either chemicals to like, you know, medicine, or it's some type of cologne or perfume, like, you know, some of the bottles or stuff, you know, make the smell go away, and it don't you can't smell jack shit, so you don't know where people are actually getting sick or not, right? And someone had a bat serving everything in the back palace. So either this is for drinking or this is for smelling in some capacity, right? Middle Eastern style bottles. My grandma had bottles like this where like she would put like all her hand lotions and like everything to cover up, and I'm just like, this bottle in the middle specifically looks like something that she had. It's Ameku MD, but China. Let's go. That feels. It does. 100% ninja made.
キャラバンが去って数日、高級では香油が大流行している。
Oh no.
本当に臭い。裁縫の輸入品は香りが強い。単品ではいい香りでも混ざり合うと危険だ。
ごめんなさい。
装備か。この前作った装備水を売りさばけば儲かるかもしれないな。いや、匂いが強い装備の精油は妊婦に悪い影響を与えてし。
So you're telling me that they brought to this place clothes for a pregnant person, and then they brought scents, a bunch of strong scents that can affect the pregnancy. So you're telling me, yeah, this caravan that has all this information beforehand comes through and has clothes specifically for a pregnant individual, and then it walks through with a bunch of oils and stuff to affect either pregnancy or others. Clothes that would reveal if someone was pregnant.
しまう。今の翡翠球にを。この匂いも。
Nah, just coincidence. She's got to be mindful. She can't go up and start doing that. No way, bro. No way. She's doing the big sniffer. She's a. Nah, she just loves it. Oh, Murasaki, buddy. Mama, you're starting to look like a freak in front of others. Oh no. Oh no, Broody.
行かなければ流行に最も流されやすい水晶球へ。
Oh no, Mama.
あなた何のつもり？
水晶宮の次女頭シンから抗議文が届いている。
Let's write an official grievance back. You ain't taking care of your master correct. Let's write an official. Start going back and forth.
お前はもう少し節度がある人間だと思っていた。
すみません。つい興奮して相手の了承も得ずにやってしまいました。
なんだその変態のような言い訳は。
今度はちゃんと了解を取ってかけます。
なぜかぐ。
あらら。反省はこのくらいか。これでも理由があるんです。
それ相応の理由なのか？
はい。人士様、そこに書かれているものを読んでいただいてもよろしいですか？
Sure.
ああ、装備、安息香、青霧、入港に経費。
どれも香の名前みたいね。
はい。今日私が嗅いだ女官たちがつけていた香料や精油の名前です。
それがどうした？
どれも妊婦に害のあるものばかりです。
続けて。
キャラバンには香油の他にも香辛料や茶葉も売られていました。これは私が買ったものです。ジャスミンに。
But can't scented oils also cover up the scent of the sick? Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? This is why, like, whenever we're talking about certain avenues or certain things, like they sort of tell you to open up a window, right? Whenever you're sick, because whenever you're sick, it carries a strong odor. But scented oils can cover up that scent for a strong capacity. It still smells, right? But maybe you could, if enough people have these scented oils, it gets harder to detect. And if you can't sniff it out, then you might just have to lick it out. That sounds wrong. But you might have to use your other senses to go ahead and see what's going on. The Lihua episode is where that came up, right?
には子宮を収縮させる作用があります。そ
Ah.
してからしは美女の堕胎剤によく使われる材料です。
つまりこれらを使うと流産の可能性が高まるということか。
どれも少量であれば問題ありません。
But altogether?
大量摂取したり誤った使い方をしなければもっと早く気づいておけばよかった。祭りの雰囲気に流されていたのかもしれない。出入りの業者はわかりますか？
調べることはできるが、商品一つ一つの種類を事細かに記してはいないはずだ。全部検品したんだがな。
Yeah, but you wouldn't suspect a thing because of the way that these items were brought in, right? Like, you wouldn't suspect a thing if I walk in and I'm like, hey guys, I'm selling my Pokemon cards, right? At a fair market rate, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, yes, woo, right? Going to a trade show and like in there, I'm also sneaking in like random other stuff, like, you know, like separately, you might be like, yeah, this is wonderful. I want this, I want that, whatever, right? But what if inside every single little packet, there's a little something that can affect you? Hard to suspect everyday things. Salt, sugar, so on and so forth. Yep. Taught me many ways to sneak murder weapons onto airplanes. Oh, no.
これってあれに似ていませんか？
あれって何？
Yes, Dragon Pump.
あまり副作用が知られていないもの。高級にあってもおかしくないもの。似ていませんか？リンリー姫を犯し、リファ妃の巫女を死なせたものに。
毒のおしろい。
はい、鉛入りのおしろいです。
つまりそれは高級内に毒物を持ち込もうとした者がいると考えていいのか？
私はここに入ってきたものの中に毒になりうるものが多くあると分かっただけです。
Right.
それぞれは毒として扱われる商品ではあり
But
ます。
together.
ただ、他の妃たちにも注意した方がいいと思います。
ガオシュ。
はい、ジン様。
So in a way, think about it this way. There's a poison that's spreading inside of this palace unless they get it under control and they find out like what's really happening, right? Because ultimately, imagine this, right? They have like this palace is supposed to be kind of impenetrable. Yes, stuff has happened as we've clearly seen in the past season, but it's supposed to be for the most part safe and secure. But what happens when it's not safe and secure and there's a rotten apple and there's rotten food and it starts rotting altogether? Snowstorm, no worries. Appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Be safe. I appreciate you. Right? Those starts happening to like the other food or the other people in that area. That corruption and that level of like poison might be spreading, right?
偶然が重なり必然となったあの事件に似ている。
Yeah.
本にゃお願い。はい、玉葉様。グイエン、翡翠宮にある香油と香辛料、茶葉の確認をお願い。はい。
仮死状態から蘇り逃亡した女官、水霊の行方も未だに分かっていない。中市での暗殺未遂事件は多くの人間が関わっている可能性が高い。その手がどこまで伸びているのか。
We're pregnant by the clothes they bought? Yeah, more than likely they would.
どこまでが確信だろ
う。憶測で物を言っちゃいけないよ。
妃の部屋付きでなければ給金も少なく、キャラバンには興味が向かなかっただろう。香油が流行しなければ気づくこともなかった。今回だけこんなに入ってきたのかもしれない。どれが偶然で。
And you wouldn't have noticed, right? She can flip the atmosphere on the dive. We're no longer feeling safe, right? But like you wouldn't have noticed again because sometimes we like to go ahead and look for things that we consider the obvious instead of the basics. In a weird way, what I was talking about way earlier on does apply to this as well, which is, you know, sometimes we know this one particular thing is poison, right? Or there's one particular diagnosis comes from a certain area. But sometimes we need to scoop back and look at the bigger picture as to what's actually happening. What are the basic components of little things like that, right? I personally think this is all planned. It's very rare for something to be a coincidence.
これが必然なのか。それすら。
I don't know about you guys, but
ああ。疲れた。懐かしいな。昔姉ちゃんたちが客がいない間にこっそりと飲ませてくれたんだよな。
oh,
それは毒ではなかったのか？
毒はまた少量では薬です。何よりお茶一杯でどうにかなるようなものではありませんし、私は妊婦でもありません。
and I'm not pregnant either, so.
それにここは厨房です。人士様の立ち入る場所ではありません。
細かいことを言うな。
ガオシュン様はどうされました？
伝令に行っている。俺にも茶をくれないか？
何茶がよろしいですか？
これと同じものがいい。
それで最後です。もう一度湯を入れても出がらしになります。
それでいい。
そうもいかないだろう。
この茶には他にどんな作用がある？
心を和らげます。不眠にも効きますし、目覚めの効果もあります。
There can be good, just as much as there's bad. But for some reason, I feel like the bad isn't as bad as modern day medicine, where it's like taking, Zoloft can go ahead and help you out this, but at the same time, it can cause bleeding rectum. It can cause like social anxiety. I don't know the full side effects. There's a giant list of side effects that comes with it, but it improves stability, right? And it's like, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. Like, it does one thing, but it also, these are all the negative effects. You just make sure that you're constantly talking with your medical provider when it comes to medicine. Do you drink 2 cups of tea every day?
他に妊娠中はよくありませんが、出産する場合分娩を促すと聞いたことがあります。
いい作用の方が多いな。
ええ、だからこそ副作用が目に入らないのです。白茶です。
出がらしでいいと言った。
I wanted the watery tea.
そういうジャスミンには他にも違う効用がありました。
どんな？
不妊です。主に男性側が原因の。これはいかん。皮肉にしては聞きすぎたか。
Oh no. Oh no.
あまり好みじゃないな。帰る。
Oh, can't take a joke. Can't take a joke. And drinks yours.
ジン様。
伝令は済んだか？
はい。それと、中級妃であるジン妃が亡くなりました。
Oh no. Ruh-roh? Ruh-roh, Raggy! We gotta get Maomao in the case! Oh no! Oh no!
ジン妃が。毒？まさか。
Hey yo, and just the fire in the eyes there. Hey yo, okay, where is this heading? I love the Apothecary Diaries for how it does this, right? A suicide plot. I'm never drinking tea again. Oh no. But my big aspect, or my big thing with all of this, is how can you fully trust individuals, right? Especially individuals at your like care level, because if you're not preparing your own teas, your own snack, your own anything, you really have to have a tremendous amount of trust in that they have the best intentions for you. And that's no. Another week. A 100 girlfriends is gonna be blast. You cannot take the weight coffee? Oh. Oh. Oof. I like. No, next time. I'm like, I don't need to watch on next time on Dragon Ball Z. Overall, though, what would you guys rate this episode? For me, this is just solidifying a lot of the. Well, not the theories, right? No preview. We go blind. It's solidifying a lot of the aspects of stuff, right? 8 or 9. For me, it's a good setup episode, but at the same time, it's showcasing that there are holes in the way that they vet things, right? It's a lot of setup, hard to judge. It's a lot of setup. It is a lot of setup, FBI, but I feel like it's because they want to build to something bigger, right? And I think I can judge this more based on the payoff. I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. Based on how this series starts, like the bigger action comes through and the payoff that it releases, we'll be able to go ahead and look back at these first couple of episodes and be like, hey, you know what? It was a great buildup. But if the payoff, or what's supposed to be the payoff, doesn't come through as strong, then these couple of episodes might be a little bit. Oh, you don't think that was FBI? Dragon Pup? Who was it? Whoever said that? The Dragon Pup, right? Whoever said that. Main aspect of things, similar element, right? Like GOT. Don't do a GOT. Wait, what's a GOT? Jinchi autocorrect. Let's say discount wisdom to out of 10. Game of Thrones. Okay. Like Game of Thrones. Sniffa out of 10. Overall, I love Maomao. Maomao's brain is absolutely beautiful to like be at, poke at. In the way that she deduces things, it's absolutely wonderful. For me, awesome. Sniffa out of 10. I'm gonna give this like an 8.5, almost a 9 out of 10 for a setup. But we will see, because this might lower based on the payoff. How big of a payoff do we get? And how much does things come back around for this? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys like Apothecary Diaries, let me know. What do you think? What days do you guys go for your discounts? And even more so, who's your favorite concubine? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have a fantastic evening, fantastic day, wherever you are in the world. Practice some self-care and know that I truly appreciate you. I'll talk to you guys later.